Picture this, a famous music star, known for grand parties and shiny things. What if his grand life hid something truly scary, a dark secret? For years, Diddy was at the very top, a big name with much shine. But past the bright lights and big events, a terrible truth now comes out in court. It shows a side so hard to believe, so strange, that few could have dreamt it. The stories coming from his court cases are truly wild, more upsetting, and way more complex than any small talks you might have heard before. The bad dreams, it seems, were not just things of sleep or made-up tales. They were true, and they filled her with dread. Jane, once Diddy's girlfriend, now tells her story in court, using a different name for safety. She recently spoke of a very harsh struggle. This was a fight so harsh, so truly disturbing, that it makes older public events about Diddy seem small. She told of an evening that began quietly but quickly turned into a struggle for her very safety. She felt stuck and ran for her life. The loud sounds of her fear, as claimed, filled the air as doors blew open, not just once, but many times, from Diddy's strong kicks. She told the court how he reportedly ran after her through different rooms in a house. First, he slammed through a bedroom door. Then he went after her into a bathroom, where she tried her best to hide. But that was not enough to stop him. He reportedly kicked down the bathroom door also, leaving her with no safe spot to go. Her heart must have beaten fast as she moved quickly to find cover, finally hiding in a small closet. Yet, even there, she was not secure. She said he found her, grabbed her with force, and then put her in a hurting headlock. She says this made her feel totally weak and scared. It felt like a bad film playing out, a never-ending chase with no way out, no spot to be safe. After what seemed like forever, she finally got free from the closet and ran. To find safety, she said she ran a long way, 6 blocks from her house, finding a small wall to hide behind. She stayed there, all by herself and very scared, for 2 long hours, just waiting, hoping the bad dream would stop. But when she finally got enough guts to go back home, the fear was not gone. Diddy, she said, was still there, and the fight reportedly began all again. He even kicked through a guest room door. This meant there was truly no place left in the house where she could hide from the alleged harm. This scary fight went on and on. After a while, she went to take a shower, likely wanting some quiet, but even there, she was not secure. She said he came into the shower, dressed, while she was unclothed and had already seen sore marks appearing near her eye. She says he then reportedly slapped her 3 times, a frightening deed of force, and simply told her to put some ice on it before leaving her by herself in the shower. It is a moment so sad and very troubling. It shows a very dark view of what reportedly happened hidden from sight. This sudden burst of alleged harm didn't just appear from nowhere, it had a sore start. Jane told the court that the harsh struggle began with a strong disagreement about Diddy's recent travels. She especially thought he was with another lady. She faced him straight on, full of upset, saying he kept bringing other ladies on these trips. Meanwhile, she, Jane, felt she was just there for a different, darker reason, to have sexual acts with other men for Diddy. In a moment of sharp anger and feeling let down, Jane herself said she pushed Diddy's head into a kitchen counter. But what she spoke next, as she told it, truly began the scary burst of harm. She called him a pedophile. She quickly made it clear she didn't mean the lady was a child by law. Instead, Jane stated this other lady was almost 30 years younger than Diddy, not old enough to buy a drink by law. Jane felt that such a big age gap, with his claimed hold over her, was very wrong and troubling. She even said it was like a secret, uneasy thing. This claim, mixed with her strong feelings of envy, doubt, and a bad sense of being let down, seems to have been the start that lit up the frightening pursuit and the rough meeting that came after. When Jane told her own tough tale in court, a weird, rather uneasy feeling came over her. She told the court that when Cassie, another of Diddy's well-known former girlfriends, first brought her big lawsuit against him, Jane read every part of it. What she found in Cassie's claims truly shook her and felt very close to home. It was like she was reading her own life. So many of the awful things Cassie spoke of, the same hard times and reported bad ways, had also happened to Jane. This lawsuit, which Cassie famously settled fast for a large sum of $30 million, showed a bond of hurt and shared hard experiences between the two ladies. This was true even if they did not know each other's full stories back then. Jane also saw with her own eyes the complete mess and fear that held Diddy and his whole group when the now-known video of him reportedly harming Cassie in a hotel hall came out for all to see. She described watching his lawyers and helpers gather around him, trying to work out what to do. She even said she saw the first try of his apology video, watching them carefully write his public words, trying hard to mend a public face that was breaking apart, showing flaws that could no longer be kept secret. Yet the dark ways and claimed bad deeds, as Jane tells it, did not just disappear with public apologies, big payouts, or even rising public anger. It was surprising that even after Diddy's houses were searched by law officers, a very big event that made news everywhere, the Odd and Hidden Hotel Nights, as Jane strangely named them, reportedly kept going. Cassie, another of Diddy's past partners, had well-knownly used the word freak-offs for these same kinds of claimed forced sexual meetings. Jane's story hints that these troubling gatherings, often with other men, did not halt. They just became more secret. After the much-talked-about police searches, they reportedly stopped going to hotels to do these acts. Instead, the gatherings reportedly went on at Diddy's own house or at Jane's house, going more into the dark and out of public sight. This means that even with everyone looking, with police checks going full speed and big legal troubles piling up, the claimed hold, the pushed situations, and the troubling acts did not stop. They simply moved to more private, unseen spots, making them even tougher to find or tell about. And that's where the story takes an even more puzzling, very troubling, and legally tough twist. Jane says Diddy often gave her ecstasy, a strong drug. Sometimes it was a pill for her to take, and other times, she said, it was given as a liquid. What happened next, as she told it, was very upsetting and central to the claims of sex trafficking. She said that after taking the drug, she would all at once and without clear reason ask 4 other men to come into the room, like a man named Paul or another named Don, for sexual acts. This happened, she stated, even though she holds firm that she never really wished for these meetings and felt very uneasy. This brings up a frightful and hard question for the court. Was she really asking, or did the drug, mixed with Diddy's claimed sway, make her speak and act in ways she did not truly wish? Then there's a moment that stands out, a very upsetting detail from the summer of 2024. Jane said she surely did not wish to be with one of the men. But, she said, after she took the ecstasy, Diddy reportedly looked at her and asked the startling question, "Is this coercion?" This question itself matters a lot. Even though he reportedly asked if she was being pushed, as Jane tells it, she still did the act. It makes everyone think about the great differences in power at play, the amount of claimed control Diddy had over her, and what truly means yes in such a troubling spot. In the courtroom, a big legal upset happened when Diddy's legal group made a very bold move. They are trying to get the whole current case, all the things he is accused of, ended. They want what is known as a mistrial. Why? They say that Cassie, a well-known singer and dancer who is a main person giving a story in court, told a direct lie while under oath. Cassie had told her story, saying she saw Diddy hang Brianna Bong Allen, another woman, over a 17th floor balcony. That would be a very scary and dangerous act. But Diddy's lawyers spoke firmly against this. They showed proof that Brianna herself, the woman reportedly hung, said that Cassie was home then but did not see anything until after the reported event. To make their point even stronger, a text from Cassie herself came up. In this message, she told someone, "I just found out something very surprising happened." If she only found out about it, Diddy's lawyers say, then how could she have seen it herself? This big fight about whether Cassie's story is true and if she lied while under oath could have vast effects. It could change everything for Diddy's whole court case. The judge is now thinking about this serious point. His choice could either make the case messy or let it keep going. At the very middle of all these strange stories, all the things said and unsaid, sit the very grave claims of sex trafficking. Jane's full and troubling story isn't just about reported rough fights or strong bossy actions. It's about whether Diddy made her, and possibly others, do sexual acts they didn't wish to do. He reportedly set up trips for them across states, sometimes even flying people in for these meetings. The really big question the court and the jury must answer is if Jane truly wanted to take part in these acts, or if she was made to do things against her will by being controlled, given drugs, or forced. Her statements about getting ecstasy and then oddly starting things, even though she insists she never really wanted them, will be a main point for the defense team's questioning. This is not just about what took place, but about why it took place, and if Diddy held a hidden, tricky power over her life and the lives of others that brought on these bad actions. The lawyers working for the public want to show a way of human trafficking and using people unfairly. Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers will surely try to show that everything was agreed upon and that Jane was happy to be there. So, the current court fight against Diddy keeps showing more and more about a life that was so different from the bright, perfect image he always showed everyone. From claimed rough fights that made Jane scared for her safety and run, to startling acts of being let down and reports of made-to-happen sexual acts while drugs were involved. Every new bit of information that appears makes a darker, more troubling view of what was reportedly going on in secret. The hard questions of what is real, great influence, and complex hold now fill the court as Diddy strongly fights for his freedom and his good name. At the same time, his old partners and helpers are boldly coming out, telling tales that question all that people thought they knew about this music leader. What more surprising facts will keep appearing as this big court story plays out? And how will everyone, who once cheered for Diddy, deal with the hidden and troubling part of a music star's sharp drop? The story is not finished, and its last part, when it is written, could change how we see influence, fame, riches, and fairness under public view forever.